5 games to go and you've achieved your first target of the season. We're in the playoffs. Must be pleased with that, at least to start with.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the guys, when they start reviewing the game, will see that there's an element of is it rustiness, or I don't know whether bringing in that. What does it end up being? It ends up being a quarter of your 23, doesn't it? By reintroducing your international players, whether that just created that little bit of not quite flow and pattern. Obviously, we also had Gareth Steenson pull out in the warm-up, which is quite a rare occurrence nowadays, with something that we weren't even preparing for, just a calf twinge out of nowhere. And obviously Joe Simmons stepping in on having had relatively little game minutes in the last few weeks, and I thought he did exceptionally well. And I thought we actually dealt with that extremely well. I've got to give great credit to all the players involved, both the international lads who are coming back, and the way they've trained this week and brought straight back into being extra Chiefs players, which is fantastic. Obviously the guys around them, kind of reintroducing them in the right way, and then obviously the ways they all dealt with the late disruption of the change. I think we've shown a lot of good qualities today. Were we perfect? No. Did Bath challenges? They certainly did. It's not often we get out percentage possession wise, which we did today. And great credit to Bath for that, and probably it's something for us to just have a look at where we could have maybe controlled possession a little bit better than we did. But overall, you know, we've done enough to win an important 5 points against a team that have been showing some decent form lately. They are a hot and cold side, but when they're hot, they can cause you some damage. We adjusted well on the field. We stopped getting phased by them holding their wingers wide. And started to actually crank up our line speed, which stopped that being an issue for us. So I think early in the game we worried about that threat on the outside, and it took away all our line speed. And then all of a sudden the team are getting 3 passes against you and springing a winger. Well, they're not supposed to get 3 passes against us. They're supposed to get caught man and ball. And we started catching the man and ball, and that it was as catching the man and ball defensively was actually swung the game, because I think we created 1 try directly from a turnover from that, and then that allowed us to get back on the front foot for most of the rest of the game.
Now you've got no game next Saturday, next weekend, and then 5 to end the season before the playoffs. Do you give people a few days off now next week? The main body of the squad will have a couple of days off now and be in training Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, weekend off. All the international players will have this week off now, so they're off from now until we train on Monday. So there's a few guys even flying off tonight. Injuries permitting, and make sure they've got no injuries first. They'll have a break, that's the international lads, and our other lads will have a week off probably later in the year when we come to the semi-final type week off. So we've got some nice breaks built in, but actually it's not necessarily the time. I think the time to have breaks has got to be done in the right way. The time to have a break now is to re-energise and refocus. Yes, we're ticking off some milestones, so a top 4 is great now. We obviously want to have a home semi-final, but beyond that, we don't want to splutter through 5 games. I'd like to see us looking like a team that are building a destiny towards being in home semi-finals and being in finals and lifting trophies. And I think you do that by how you look. And I want us to look like that on training on Wednesday. I want us to look like that in the performance against Leicester, and I want us to continue to look like that over the next 5 weeks. I don't want us to, in any stage, think, oh, it's all about rotating now and just trying to get a few guys fit for the end of the season. It's not about that for me. It's about us building a belief in ourselves and a bit of disbelief in some other teams. That's what we can do over the next 5 weeks. Does having that break give you an advantage come June the 1st or May, end of May, because someone like Saracens are going to be playing big European quarterfinals, potentially semi-finals?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, sometimes there are some players in particular who, you know, a playing programme that's very regular is good for them. Other guys, you know, it's nice to have a break. I mean, I've got to say, you know, having 2 less games potentially than a Saracens can obviously help you energy-wise, but Saracens are the only team in the competition who are going to be challenged in that way. We're going to look after it how we can look after it, and we'll manage the next 5 games as best as we can to prepare for that semi-final.